Okay, so in this lightburn tutorial, what we're going to do is we're going to create kind of our first little name tag, and we're going to go through some of the options that you have. So let's just plow right into it, as that's how we're going to learn the basic interface. Okay, so let's say I want to make like a luggage tag or something like that, or a name tag. So I'm going to need letters. So I'm going to go over here to my little toolbar over here, and I'm going to click on A. And then when I click back on the grid someplace, a little cursor will pop up, and I can type my text that I want. So let's say I am Iron Man. So that's going to be my text. And notice it went off the grid, so I can click on my little white arrow up here, and I can move it to where I want to. Okay. And now I have a layer over here in my cuts and layer window. So this window right here is very important, as we're going to use it a lot. That's going to tell us the information about what layer we're in, the settings we have, the speed, the power, things like that for controlling how our laser is going to behave. Okay, and so right now it's a line. So if I wanted to see how that looked when I sent it to a laser, I would go up here to my main toolbar, and I would click on something that looks like a little monitor. And notice when I move over it, you get a little preview of what it's going to say. So it says preview, right? If I move over here, it's going to say zoom in. And so I'm going to click on my preview button. And oh, I have cut selected graphics on, so I need to click on that and select it. Your default might have that where the cut selected graphics is off over here, and then it would automatically select it. I like having cut selected graphics on for me, just because that means I know what I am engraving. I'm cutting, so I'm going to go preview it again now with that selected, and that's how it's going to look. I am Iron Man. So line, think of line as like a trace. Okay. So now if I go over here to my layer mode and I change that to a fill, and I go back to preview, notice now it's engraved it in. So it's almost like coloring it in. So that's the primary difference between line and a fill. A fill is an engraving, right? A line is more of a trace. Okay. So usually I like having my letters, unless I have a reason for it to be a line, I like my lettering to be an engraving. So now I've got my engrave for my letters, and I can make it any size that I want. And up here on my window, it's going to tell me roughly how big it is. And you can type in exactly how big you want it. And if that lock is locked, the two sizes automatically scale in relation to each other. If you unclick it, that means you can stretch and pull it in the X direction, and the Y won't change. So notice if I was to change this to 500, right, my X distance doesn't change, but now my text is all out of sync. And to undo something, you just Control Z, and it takes you back. Okay, so just like any other program, Control Z takes you back to undo. All right. So now, if I wanted to make a name tag, I probably want to have a cutout, because generally the pieces of wood that you're using are going to be much, much bigger, and you're going to want to cut it out. So I'm going to make my name tag to be a square. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to make a square, and I just click on the square, click and drag it around. I've got a little marching ants. And when I'm okay with the size of the square, and again, I can make my square exactly the size that I want. Okay. I'm going to hit enter. Boom. Or you can click on the little white and then click someplace on the grid, and there you go. And that's usually how I do it. Click on the little white square and then click someplace. Now, you might go, how do I know that it's centered? Well, how you would do it is you can draw a box around it. And notice what I like about lightburn here is it draws a little red square around everything. Now they're both selected. And right here at the top in the menu bar, you've got these align buttons. So I can align in the center, and I can align horizontally. So there, I've got it perfectly aligned. Okay? But notice something here. These two lines are black. So if I go highlight them both, because I've got cut selected graphics on, and I preview it, it's going to engrave it all black except for the text. So if that's the effect I'm going for, yay. If not, maybe not so much. And it's also going to tell me the time here. The time is going to be, for me, it's 55 minutes giving my speed. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So that's what preview gets you. And you always preview it before you send it to a laser to double check that it is what you want. Okay. So what we want to do is I want my text to be an engraving and my box to be cut. So what I'm going to do is make this box a new layer so I can put new settings on it. So down here at the bottom, I've got all of these colors, and I can assign a new color to it, which is going to put it in a new layer. So I'm going to turn it blue by just clicking on the 0, 1. And over here on my cuts layers, I now have a new layer, right? I've got 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now, if I preview it, let me highlight everything again. Boom. All right. That's probably what I want. Okay. All right. So now my next step is to figure out the settings. So right next to the laser are going to be guides. It's going to tell you the settings on the coloring that you want, or any makerspace that you wander into should have a set of materials with the right settings for glass, for laser, for wood, for acrylic, for any of the materials that you're going to use. Because if you don't, then you're kind of guessing. And so we've done this already for our CO2 lasers. And that's how we know what's roughly the right settings that I want for my engraving. And so I'm going to change my fill up here for my speed and my power. And to do that, I'm going to double click on that 0, 0. And that brings up a new little window here on my lightburn. And the speed I'm going to go with is 1800 millimeters per second. And we'll talk about here if that says millimeters per minute, we have to change that. Maximum power, I'm going to go with 35. And that's going to give me about the right level of burning that I want. Okay? And I'm going to go with a fill. Okay. All right. Now for my line, we've tested that as well. And so for our lasers, we have found that a speed of about 40 millimeters per second and a power of about 50 is more than sufficient to cut us through the type of wood that we're going to be using. This is a 3 millimeter birch plywood that we're going to use this. And notice here where it says number of passes, that's 1. Before you double take your wood out, you want to double check that you've got a clean cut. So if you put your wood in and it's warped a little bit, you might want to double check that. And sometimes if your wood is really warped, you might want to bump that up to 2. But usually for our lasers that we have, around 1 is usually sufficient. And you'll click OK. And so now you've got these settings of 800 and 400 for your name tag. And now if I do my preview with these updated settings, it now gives me a rough time of about 17 minutes and 54 seconds. Okay, and again, this is an estimate. Usually we've learned that this is probably an overestimate. The time is usually less than that typically, based upon our experience on working with our lasers. But it's a pretty good guess, because our rule is you can't leave the room when the laser is running. So you don't want to start a job if you have to be someplace in 2 hours and you're going to start a 6-hour laser job, right? Now, if you want it to make it shorter, all you have to do is highlight it all and say, I want a smaller name tag. Because it's kind of like anything else. The bigger it is, the longer it's going to take. And so now if I preview my smaller name tag, notice I'm down to 11 minutes, which makes sense because the laser doesn't have to move as much, right? It's just engraving a smaller object. Okay. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger here again. Okay. Now, let's say I want to have this as a name that is going to hang around my neck, so like a lanyard or something like that. So now I can do a circle. So I'm going to put a little circle in here. And I always find it really hard to draw a perfect circle. So notice my width is 17, the height is 16. So I'm going to make these 20 and 20. So this is where having it unlocked is really useful, because if you change the width and that's locked, it's going to automatically change it, and then you're still going to have an ellipse instead of a circle. So now I've got a perfect circle of 20, 20. Now I can lock it, because then if I change the width here again to say 22, the height is also going to change to 22. Okay, but I think 20 millimeters is more than sufficient for a hole I want. And I'm going to make another hole on this other side. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to copy it, Control C, paste it in. I'm going to move it over here. Okay. And if I click on both of these guys, okay, and hold down the Shift key at the same time, it will select them, and then I can align them. Okay, I'm going to align them horizontally to make sure that they're perfectly aligned, and I think that looks pretty reasonable to me. And so now I have a name tag that has holes that I can run a little string through it and have it around my neck. And now if I preview it again, it's going to take about 24 minutes and 46 seconds. I've got my height measurements here. It's 453 meters. And so if you're not sure on how big that is, right, one of the tricks that you can always do is you can always go into Google and say 453 millimeters to inches, because we're used to thinking in inches. That's a 17-inch name tag. So that's a pretty good size name tag, right? And so you can decide that, I don't want that. I'm going to make it a lot smaller, right? And so then you can decide the size of your name tag that you want. And then preview it again. And now I'm down to 13 minutes. And you can check it in inches again. And usually you want it to be about 4 or 5 inches, or at most maybe 6 inches. And so again, in Google, you can type in 6 inches to millimeters, and you can get the rough size of it that you want. And that is how you make a name tag. Your only last step that you have to do is you just have to go up to File, and you just have to Save As, and you're going to save it as your name. Okay. And any other identifying information that you want, right? So if you're in a space that has lots of other lasers, I'm going to save this as I'm going to do it on a 100 watt CO2, or name of the laser, something like that, so that we know what's the right laser that you're going to do it. Save it, and then we can take it to the laser, and you'll be able to have a name tag laser cut in no time.